You're watching on demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Ruth Langsford, Brenda Edwards, Olivia Outwood-Dack, and Kelly Bryan.
What a lovely audience. Thank you very much. I'll have a pint, whatever they're on, please. And welcome to you at home. It's Tuesday, your Loose Women. And coming up today, our big debate of the day, as Kardashian star Kylie Jenner is branded a hypocrite for saying she'd be heartbroken if her daughter wanted surgery like she did when she's 19. How would you react if your teen was desperate to go under the knife? Also, Helen Skelton has stepped down from her radio show after struggling to juggle work and motherhood. Is it a myth that women can really have it all? Our guest today will be revealing all about his shocking near moose. Joe Pasquale will be telling the story of his freak accident with a pair of antlers. I mean, every time I read that, I laugh, but actually, he was really quite serious. He ended up in hospital. Anyway, he's fine, and he'll be telling us all about that. First, though, today, big warm welcome to our guest panellist for the day, Olivia Outwood-Dack. No stranger to the show, obviously been on the show here very recently as a guest, talking about your wedding show, but not as a panellist.
No.
And I know you've got a lot to say, because you're a very opinionated woman.
Me? It feels like a coming of age. I feel like I've grown up on this channel, like Love Island all these years ago, done loads of great stuff, and then coming here, but this was very grown up. I'm like, I'm going to have to be on best behaviour.
Well, you're very welcome.
Kind of.
You're very welcome. It's good to have you. So we're kicking off today. Lead story in today's Daily Mail, you might have seen it. Parents are being told that they need to get a grip and stop their children joining dangerous TikTok and other social media crazes. Now, these comments come from Donna Jones. She's the new chairman of the Association of Police and Crime Commissioners. And that follows the latest online trend just last weekend that saw teenagers taking paracetamol in a challenge to see who could get into hospital and then stay in hospital. Can you believe it? That's what they were doing. They all got swept up in this. Very, very scary stuff. And that's not the only one, Olivia. We saw just a couple of weekends ago this big kind of everybody rushing to Oxford Street on some kind of looting raid of a shop that apparently was on TikTok. I'm not saying just TikTok, there are other social media platforms, of course, but there seems to be this trend now of these things going out on these platforms, encouraging kids to really misbehave and actually get themselves into a lot of trouble if they're not careful.
I mean, absolutely, and like you say, these aren't pranks or things that are really for fun. They're quite intimidating. If you were just shopping on Oxford Street, if you saw that video of those kids and they're running down the high street, they're going into big stores, they're stealing things, it's awful. And I think parents should be worried, but, you know, I've looked a lot into different social media platforms through one of my recent documentaries, and you know, the algorithms on those platforms, they can control what goes out and what doesn't, and they're really quick to pull things down, you know, if you haven't tagged an advert or you haven't credited a music artist. Like, I can't believe
they've
that
had
these
things of women breastfeeding that showed half a nipple being taken down.
And I can't believe
so they can do that quickly.
Yeah, completely. I think they need to do more at the head of these sites, but also scare the parents, because it's only a matter of time for one of these kids gets seriously injured.
Yeah, well, you're saying they should be targeting the actual social media platform, the people that are running them. Donna Jones, Brenda, says parents need to get a grip of what their children are actually doing. She said it's not for the police to instill a sense of what is right and wrong. Parents have a responsibility to sit down and speak to their kids. And if you think your child might have been involved of any of that, it's your responsibility as a parent to sit down and go, what are you doing? where were you? You can't do this. Do you agree with her?
Yes, I do agree with that. You know that I'm that old-fashioned one, and I had the thing of where I didn't buy my children a phone until they were a certain age, that I thought that they were responsible themselves. Obviously, now we've got all these smartphones, it really makes it harder. I think that there's nothing wrong with it. What was it, the Nokia 8210, or what is it? When you don't have a thing, you've literally just got the numbers to dial. You know, and maybe there should be something, I don't know. I say you can't police everything that children are doing. And
well, she's saying the police can't police everything. You know,
well, you say the police can't.
Taking the police to, say, the incident in Oxford Street, there were a lot of police there. At that point, there might be a robbery, a rape, you know, a fatal car accident, something where those police are away from those incidents.
Absolutely. And
because these kids are running riot in Oxford Street, encouraged on social media.
Yeah, you know, what I would like is for those young people to stop being sheep with stupid things like this, because it's just pathetic, and just think about it, and the people that are putting it on their platforms just have a bit more responsibility, and if they're not going to, take their page
you've
down.
Got young children.
Yes.
And my theory, Gary, you've heard me say this before, you can't, it's like the genie's out of the bottle. You can't put social media back in.
Yeah.
And I think it's very hard on kids if you're so strict and you say, that's it, you're not having a phone, you're not having social media, you isolate them from their peer group.
Yeah.
So isn't it up to you as a parent to explain things, be up with what's going on these platforms yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm very much on it. I had an incident with my youngest just recently where I took both iPads to the Apple store and said, look, let's sort this out. Whatever security needs to change, it needs to happen now because it's not working. And so I am very much like that, and I am active.
They use the same...
Yeah, so basically I link my account to hers, so therefore I can see everything that she's searching for. I can see her search history, and I know what she's been looking at.
That?
No, she's actually okay with that. Yeah, she's fine with that. And to be fair, at 9, you have no choice.
No.
Right? There's not a choice in there. It's either I do or you don't have it at all.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that she's safe. But for me, this has been going on for a lot longer than these incidents. We're going back to football hooliganism, which used to all of the rallies and the hooliganism used to happen and take part, all of the organisation used to happen on WhatsApp. And I know there are lots of other platforms involved now, but it used to happen then.
Yeah.
And at that time, the police used to say, oh, we're learning lessons and we're going to do better. Well, clearly you're not.
No.
Because it's just moved those actions and that kind of social grooming that's happening with people that are like-minded, coming together and coming up with these new creative ideas to push boundaries is still happening. What they need to start doing is policing social media platforms, having stricter terms and conditions and regulations to make sure it doesn't happen in the first place.
The actual social media platform,
But like you say there, the culture around views and clicks is like currency, whether it's money or it's social status. So people are going to more extreme lengths to put a video up that someone's going to watch and share.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of what drives this. They want to be the ones posting it, look at me, and then it's going to get shared and retweeted and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
well, this woman, Donna Jones, she said you also need to explain to them that you know, it's a criminal offence, because sometimes kids are very easily led. They get swept up and they think, oh, this is quite fun and exciting. And then they take something and they don't realise if they're caught, if they're charged, if they have a criminal record. She's saying you need to explain to them that can have, you know, really mess up their future, employment, you know, so they need to, but that's where parents have to come in. TikTok, I have to say, we approached TikTok for a comment on this. They said, we've seen no evidence to support these claims. We have zero tolerance for content facilitating or encouraging criminal activities. We have over 40,000 safety professionals dedicated to keeping TikTok safe. If we find content of this nature, we remove it and actively engage with law enforcement on these issues. That is their response. And I have to say, we've mentioned TikTok there because that was the particular one in Oxford Street, but it is across all social media platforms, not just TikTok. Let us know what you think about that. You know, perhaps you're watching today and you were there, or you were involved yourself and wish you hadn't been, or, you know, what do you think about these kind of crazes? I mean, the paracetamol one is very frightening.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous, very scary. OK, another topic now. TV chef John Waite has said that he almost fell victim to the Strictly curse. So he was on the series with professional dancer Johannes. And in a new interview, John has said that he fell in love with Johannes and he didn't hide his feelings from his fiancée, Paul. And after that, John and Paul actually did spend some time apart. They are back together now, and John says that he keeps his distance from Johannes. So very interesting that he's gone public with this. And he said, you know, I realise because of my partner's feelings, I can't really be friends like that. I don't really see Johannes now because it would be very difficult for everyone involved. And everyone's talked about the Strictly curse, but they're saying, no, nothing happened. He just had those feelings, Brenda. But he's still with his fiancée. So do you think that you can love two people at once?
Yes, I think you can.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it is possible. You know, you have to set these boundaries. I mean, obviously, I'm in a world, in the musical theatre world, where there's lots of roles where there's this one playing the love partner or love interest of this one, and they've got a partner or a wife or a husband or whatever. And I guess there is always that, ooh, what if, you know, you're doing the kissing scene and oh, it's got a bit too kissy. But for me, for roles that I've been offered where I've kind of turned them down because I don't even want to entertain it myself, because for me, even just a kiss, I feel that's quite an intimate thing. And so, you know, that's just my personal
Kelly's
choice.
done a lot more than the kissing.
Oh,
She's done the touchy-feely and everything. And
sorry to say, I've jumped into that pool and swam in it.
As an actress, you know.
Well, yeah, because as an actor, you know, you get thrown into all different characters and all the time. And so, yeah, I've had to sort of fall in love on a daily basis. And you know, and sometimes, for me, I'm a method actor, so I do kind of really get involved into that person's life. I spend time with them outside of the role when we're not working to really get to know that person, because I feel like that's my way of doing a really good job of that particular role. Do I take it any further? No, because I think there's a line that is drawn, and you know, out of respect to my partner. I remember one time, oh God, he'll kill me for saying this, but I was shooting.
He's not watching, don't worry.
I was shooting an intimate scene, and you know, they put like modesty bits, you know, in places where it's supposed to go. And so we're doing the do as you do, and he was on set that day, but the person that I was doing was quite pleased with himself.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, and so I was going. So we are on half term, aren't we? Anyway, so I'll just quickly move through the story. So I'm going.
We understand.
We understand. So I was like, pleased with himself. So I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. So he's like not too far away in the distant, you know, past, because we're on set. And so I'm going like this, and he's going, you're right. And I'm going, yeah, great, yeah, great. It's great, thanks. But what I'm saying is
nothing to see.
Nothing to see here. All completely. But the point is, there's a line, right? And so long as you don't cross it, I think I'm a bit like, what is John being really open is in one way a really good thing, because at least he's being honest with his partner and saying, this is the experience that I had, this is how I felt. But I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm like, would that not be like your private conversation that you have?
It's a very intimate thing, Dom.
Yeah.
You know, and you spend a lot of time, as I know, with your partner. But I just, you know, when people say things like, oh, we couldn't help ourselves, just couldn't help ourselves. I go, yeah, you could. You just go, no.
Yeah.
It's a choice. Simple as that. It's a choice.
Yeah, I think that somebody can bring you something that somebody else can't and add to you. You don't have the one perfect person.
No, of course not. Nobody has the perfect. I mean, you've just married, so you probably have got the.
I don't really talk about it much. I don't know if anyone knows I've been married, but yeah. Yeah, newlyweds, I'm just living in my bubble where I believe that, you know, you can only love one person. I'm going to die on that hill for now. But I'm just wondering, obviously, we don't know their relationship. Did he give his partner heads up that he was going to make this announcement? It's quite personal. Like, you know, if Bradley shared that, woo, I'd be like, house arrest. You know, you are not going out anymore. But it's quite a hard thing, I think, for his partner to hear. And also, like we said, we don't... What kind of love? Because it's like, I love my friends. Like, I would go say, I'm in love with some of my friends. I love them that much, but it's not sexual.
It's the
We need more information.
Yeah.
We need to get him in.
Yes. In fact, John, if you're watching, come in.
Yeah, come on.
Chair available for you.
It's fascinating, like you said. I have a respect for him that he's gone, you know what, this happened, this is how I felt, I discussed it with my partner, we had a bit of breathing space, and we're back together, and I now know that was a friendship and it's parked there, and we're still here. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about that now. Newlyweds. In our little bubble. We don't want to put her off marriage. She's only been here a day. OK, we are going to take a break now. After that, our guest, Joe Pasquale, is going to tell us all about his near-death experience with a moose. And we go head-to-head in a fiery debate about cosmetic surgery for teenagers. And as presenter Helen Skelton steps down from her radio show after struggling to balance work and motherhood, Olivia will be opening up about her fears about starting a family and juggling her career. So we'll be doing that after this. Hello, welcome back to Loose Women. Now, comedian Joe Pasquale is our guest today, and he's got an unbelievable story of how a moose head left him in hospital. It's true, it was really... I know people are laughing. Every time I say it, we all go, but it is, I mean, it sounds funny, but it's absolutely true. And, you know, he's always funny. He's a great guest, so he's here a bit later. First, though, presenter Helen Skelton revealed on air this weekend that she was quitting her BBC Radio 5 Sunday show, saying that she wants to spend more time with her children. So she's talking to her listeners, and she said, I'm not all right about it, but, you know, needs must. The juggle is real. An 8-year-old needs me. So, Olivia, I know you've just got married, and this is the worst thing people do the minute you get married and they start talking to you about, you know, do you want a family? You don't have a family. Is it something that you've considered?
Yeah.
And is it something you are concerned about? Because you're a very busy woman, you're always working. Do you think already there is going to be a struggle here?
I mean, it's up the ante since we got married, but it started when we got engaged. And I think I was saying to someone before, as a woman, it's wild, because all through, like, your teens and your early 20s, everyone's like, don't get pregnant, you get pregnant, your life's over. And then almost overnight, this, like, switch flicks, where it's like, when are you having kids? Do you not realise you're 30 now?
Yeah.
It's like all your life you're told, don't get pregnant, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, where's the baby?
Yeah.
You know? So, yes, since getting married, even the short time being married, already, you know, all the questions. And I actually don't take offence to those questions. I think I'm in this industry, I'm very open with my life, and, you know, I share everything else, so I understand it doesn't come from a bad place. But it's something that I think Helen talking about this, I think, is really cool, because people don't talk about that honestly. And I think, as a woman, this is the guilt. Like, society guilts us, and I'm in this situation now where I'm in love with my job and I'm on a roll. And you know what it's like in this industry? Like, you need to make hay where the sun shines. I don't want to take, you know, time off. I don't want to, or have a young child and have to have that feeling of that tie.
But you would like children.
I do want children.
So then you are going to have to do that.
Well, like, at some point. And I know there'll probably never be a time where I'm like, OK, I'm ready to take a little bit of a step back, because that's not my personality. But I know it's not right now. And also it's hard, because, you know, Brad is desperate for kids, and, you know, he talks to me regularly about it, not in a pressuring way, but he can be honest with me that, you know, his lifestyle wouldn't change. Let's be honest. Like, there's not dad guilt, you know. It's not.
No, but also, you know, fact of life is that you have a smallish window.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that sometimes, not that women forget, that it's not talked about enough with young women.
Yeah.
To say, of course you can do what you like, have what you want, have your career, have a family, you can do it all, but it's quite tough. And also, you have a window. And I've seen so many young women go, career, 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 which is fabulous. And then they get to 32 or 33 and they're where they want to be in their career, and they go, right, let's have a baby. And then they realise they have fertility issues.
Yes.
Is your fertility, without being too personal, something that you are aware of? Is it something you're aware of?
Yes, it's something that I've always been. My mum instilled into us the importance of, you know, like, those tests and having your smears and everything. And off the back of one of those smears, I, you know, elected to have fertility checks and egg count and all that stuff. And the egg count was high. And he said to me, you know, in the position you're in now, I don't think you need to rush to freeze them. However, if the egg count had been low, then freezing my eggs is something I would have done 100%. And I think it's something that needs to be spoken about more with young women. It's definitely becoming more of a discussed topic. But like you say, in the past, it hasn't been. And then I think, like you say, we do things in our mind. I go, right, I want to do this and this and this next 2 years. And then, I'm going to have a baby in June. It doesn't work like that necessarily, you know? You might get really lucky, but really how life
and Brenda,
is.
I mean, you did, young children on your own and worked, and it's a juggle and a struggle.
It is a juggle and a struggle, and obviously I've spoken about my mum guilt so many times on here. But when I got pregnant, neither of my pregnancies were planned. I was on the contraception. I've had this conversation, and so I embraced it. But it was important to me. The way that I was raised was that I always work and work hard. I know it's going to be even harder, but it was important for me to work hard and to instill that in my children to work hard for what they want.
And Kelly, your children see you working hard.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're with me today. They're, there are times we're on school holidays, so they're coming to work with me, and that's it. But they've watched me do it for so many years. I think they've just acclimatised to it, and hopefully they'll see that Mummy's working. And I do often say to them, look, we're going to go on this lovely holiday at this point, and so Mummy's got to work hard to be able to do that and to be able to afford that. And I'm hoping that instills those values in them, to know that when you want something and you want to achieve something, you have to work hard to get it. It doesn't just come like that. It actually takes hard work to achieve those things.
And does Bradley... I've got to take a break now, but just very quickly, does Bradley understand where you're... So he understands how you feel about not stopping now?
Yeah, he completely gets it. And I think there's been challenges with all jobs and being pregnant and the mum's job, but especially in such a face-forward job. If I was really sick for 9 months and, I couldn't come and sit here with you ladies, do you know what I mean? He knows that it's something that I'm not willing to trade right now. And I think people always do trivialise having a baby and when you're going to get pregnant. It's like, that's a human for the rest of your life that depends on you. And I feel like when I feel that in my heart, that desire, then I know it's time.
So when you do... When you do feel that desire and you get the thing, come here and tell us first, really.
An exclusive.
Exclusive. Thank you very much. OK, we're going to take a break. Kardashian star Kylie Jenner says that she would be heartbroken if her daughter got cosmetic surgery in her late teens. We're asking, coming from her, is that hypocritical? And would you support your teenager if they wanted to go under the knife? Also, there's a moose on the loose, but who's that behind it? Oh my God. There he is, Joe Pasquale. Well, it's a story that we can laugh about now, Joe, but he's going to be revealing why an unfortunate mistake could have cost him his life. Like what I did there? Do you like what I did there? OK, back with Joe and the moose and everything else right after this break. Welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women Live, and keeping you company this lunchtime alongside me, Ruth Langsford. It is Kelly Bryan, Brenda Edwards, and our guest panellist today, Olivia Attwood-Dack. Still to come this afternoon, our debate of the day. Would you support your 18-year-old if they wanted cosmetic surgery? We've got our take on that, as Kardashian billionaire Kylie Jenner says that she would be heartbroken if, like her daughter had work done in her teens. Before we discuss that, some exciting news. Loose Women has been shortlisted for a National Television Award. Thank you very much. Yes, they're delighted, we're delighted, and here's why we've been nominated.
Gina says in Derby we call it a cob duck.
Hang on a minute, they don't call it a cob duck. They surely say, can I have a bacon cob duck?
No, yes.
Looks like a bun.
Size doesn't matter what size you are, it's about your heart, it's about what you want to give.
Oh dear, I'm one of a quiver.
I love all the debate and strong women.
In case you've just tuned in.
Well, Well, listen, we are thrilled to be went from the long list to the short list, and we're absolutely thrilled to be there. But to win it, we need you to vote for us. We'd love you to do that. You can do it by going to nationaltelevisionawards.com/vote. Please. Thank you very much. So, our guest, Joe Pasquale, will be here in just a moment. Before that, though, competition time for you. Your chance to win £90,000. Yeah. Thank you very much again. You're good, you lot. Laura Hamilton has got all the details for you.
Summer is here and I've got details of a red-hot prize which you're not going to want to miss out on. This week you have another chance to win an enormous £90,000 in totally tax-free cash. That's 90 grand which would be yours to spend however you want. We love making winners here at ITV. In the last 12 months we've made almost 400 winners and given away 570 prizes. And we're ready to make our next big winner. So if you're sitting there and thinking, I'm feeling lucky and I fancy being 90 grand richer, then here's all the details you need to get involved. For another chance to win, text CASH to 83123. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 783123. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY29 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 25th of August at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Thank you very much, Laura. Now, our guest today is a true legend of stage and screen, and this year he's on tour to celebrate almost 40 years in showbiz. But it's not all fun and games. Now, last week, he made headlines after revealing that he'd had a freak accident with some moose antlers that left him needing stitches. I had to read it twice. I was like, what? Pardon? Anyway, it's true, and here to tell us all about it, please welcome Joe Pasquale. Welcome. Oh, careful, don't fall, don't fall.
I've got to get in a real weird position because it's right on my wound.
Oh, yeah.
No, I really am. I've got to sit...
Steady.
I'm
Really?
going to put one cheek on it, if that's all right.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Do you need...
Because honestly, if I sit... No, it's not funny. I've got a wound, but it's right by my bum cheek, and so I have to find the right position.
Ooh.
That'll do it there.
Right.
That'll be fine.
Is that all right?
I said I had to read that headline twice. I was like, a what? Pardon, he did what?
No, I had to read it myself. I read it. It said a comedian nearly dies. I wonder who that is. And it was my name. It's me. And it got all the more publicity out of this than anything I've done in 40 years.
Tell us what happened.
Well, I'm on tour now because I hadn't toured since before COVID.
We'll talk about the tour in a minute.
But I hadn't toured since before COVID, so I was really nervous about it anyway. Because it's like, and you must have missed it, Brenda, when we couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden I'm back doing it again, and I've done a few plays, but first time to do stand-up again, and it's like jumping out of a plane to do stand-up. You go, what's it like? What's it like? You get out, they go, oh, it's great, and you're floating and you're doing that. And at the end of the show, it was great. It was in Skegness, the land of the midnight sausage, right? It's amazing. You can get a sausage any time of day or night in Skegness. And so I'd finished the show, and my act is loads and loads of props. It's like a boot sale. At the end of it, it's just strewn everywhere, right? And it's like the early learning centre for 5-year-olds. And it's just... And I never grew up, and it's fantastic to do again. And it's all this stuff all over the floor, and I've got this great big pair of moose...
On the stage?
On the stage, yeah. It's all on stage, right? It's a great big theatre, this one in Skegness, and they've got these great big moose antlers sticking on the floor. I'd used them in the show already, and then the curtain comes down, they bring the lights down afterwards. I always bring the lights down the stage. Don't know why, they can't see it anyway. Come down, right? And then, and I'm really excited. Show's like, oh, it's like I've landed, so the show's finished. Great, second night in. And then I just trip over something, don't know what it is. And as I'm tripping over, it was like slow motion. It was like watching a new Tom Cruise movie, you know, Mission Impossible. And I saw these moose antlers coming at me. And it was, and it sounds really weird, but it was slow motion. And I thought, I'm going to die. I'm going to die by moose, death by moose. And the moose was dead anyway. It was just his head, right? And there's these great big prongs sticking up at me. And I'm going, oh, no. And, you know, your balance goes, and it's in slow motion when you're falling, isn't it? Yeah. And it seemed like it was going for about half an hour, but it wasn't. It was only about 2 seconds. But as I was doing it, I thought, what would Tom Cruise do in this position, right? What would he do? I just watched Mission Impossible 7. And what I did, I saw a bit, right? And what I did, in mid-air, I twisted, yeah, because I'm accident-prone, Kelly.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I twisted in mid-air like that, and I landed right in the middle of the moose head itself, right? Except for my left leg. My left leg went straight, it punctured my left leg here, like this.
Oh.
And
Can
so,
I just say, look, because we were looking at that one, but, you know, like that.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Landing on that.
It got those there. So I was right in the middle of it. It was like Bambi on acid. It was terrible, right? and as I'm going, and then it really hurt. It did hurt a bit. And I got up.
You did have to go to hospital?
Well, I went to see my tour manager, right? I said to Lee, I went, Lee, I think I've hurt my leg. He went, let's have a look. So I dropped my trousers. I'm not going to do it now because it's not bad, not good at lunchtime, right? So I dropped my trousers and he went white. He went, oh, my God, like that. I went, what's the matter? He went, you need a medic. So what for? He went, you just need a medic. So they phoned some medic. He comes down and he went, what's the matter? I said, I think I've hurt my leg. He went, let me have a look. And he went, oh, my God, like that. And when a medic does that, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, you know you're in trouble.
But you know when you hurt yourself, it doesn't really hurt. You go, oh...
Shock.
Yeah, shock.
Yeah.
He said, you need to go to hospital. So I said, what for? He said, you've got a hole in your leg. So I went, well, so it'll be all right. When he went, no, you need to go to hospital right now. I said, it's 11 o'clock at night in Skegness on a Saturday night.
And I want a sausage, you said?
Yeah, a sausage. I could get a sausage, but you can't get a medic at that time of night. So, next day I was in Bridlington. He just patched it up. I went to hospital the next day in Bridlington night. It's not funny, Brad. Honestly, I was so uncomfortable here. You won't believe it, but I need someone...
Did you have to have stitches?
I need stitches. Never. I've got loads of Germaline. There was those sort of creams.
Germaline?
Every sort of cream imaginable on there, right? I've got pseudo creme. Is it called pseudo creme or cream?
Pseudo creme.
It's spelled creme.
Pseudo creme.
It's like pale cream. It's called anusol, right? But my mum used to say it was called anusol, right? But if you go into a chemist and say, "Can I have some anusol?" Have you got anusol? They go, well, everyone's got one. They all say that, right?
Can I just say, other brands of hemorrhoid cream?
Yeah. There's only two though. It's Preparation H, which is no good at all. It's a bit.
Listen,
chalky,
let's talk. I need to get him off. Okay. Your tour that you're currently on, where you fell on the moose's boudoir, is called The New Normal 40 Years of CAC.
Yeah, it is.
So tell us what it's about.
CAC is something that it's an acceptable word to say in poo, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've never taken it too seriously. I've always thought life is too short. And what's really good about doing stand-up is I missed it so much. And I think we need it in our lives. And what people don't realise is it's a symbiotic relationship when you're doing it. Because what it does, if you're watching someone do a stand-up, well, anything, it could be a musical play, go and see Brenda's show, it gives people freedom of concern for the amount of time you're watching the show. And if you can give people that sort of freedom of all the worries that are in the world,
your problems,
just those 2 hours. And also, what it does for me, I get rid of all my concerns for that man, because all you can do is focus on that 2 hours. And if you can make people laugh for 2 hours, it's the best joy in life. It really is. So I missed it so much.
Well, you've made us laugh a lot in just, what was that, like 5.5 minutes, I think. And we just had to clear up the antler story, because we were a bit concerned about you. And people thought it was a joke. It really wasn't a joke.
And also I've got a little badge there, and you pay homage to the moose side. Because this is good today. I've been telling everybody I'm a moose woman today as well.
Moose women? That's funny. We've got to say goodbye. There's never enough time. We had loads of things. No. Look, I said I don't make the rules, people. No. We've got to go to the adverts, Joe. You know what it's like. Listen, the tour is until the 1st of October. Do try and go and see Joe.
But I'll go back out again next year, so it's going on forever.
No, the new normal. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You can take that. Be careful with it.
I'll take that with me there, girls.
Joe Pasquale, everybody.
Stay here.
Stay there for now. We are going to take a break. After that, Are You a Creature of Habit? We're going to be revealing the one thing that we refuse to change in our day-to-day lives. And after Kylie Jenner has been branded a hypocrite for saying she'd be heartbroken if her daughter had cosmetic surgery at age 19, like she did, we're asking if she has any right to stop her from following in her footsteps. We're going head-to-head on that one. So see you right after the break. Now, Now, coming up on Loose Women, our debate of the day, are we too blasé about cosmetic surgery? Also, are you a creature of habit? We'll be revealing the one thing that us Brits are least likely to change about ourselves. This is a recent survey out. Love to know what you all think about it. Before we do any of that, competition time again, your chance to win £90,000. Thank you very much. It is exciting. Laura Hamilton has all the details.
The summer is here and we're celebrating by giving you the chance to win a whopping amount of money. This week you have another chance to win a huge 90 grand in totally tax-free cash. Just what would you do if you won all that money? Luxury holidays to faraway lands, a new car, or shopping sprees galore? Being 90 grand richer, you'd be able to spoil yourself and your loved ones. There's a guaranteed winner for every prize here at ITV. It happened for Janice from the Wirral.
£40,000, but I still can't believe it. I haven't touched it. It's still in the bank. I was getting ready for work and it was on the telly and it looked like a nice competition. Biggest surprise ever. I never win anything. It's fabulous. It's brilliant.
Janice was a winner with ITV and you could be too. It just takes moments to enter and here's how. For another chance to win, text CASH to 83123. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 783123. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY29 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 25th of August at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Good luck with that. Thank you very much, Laura. Now, the 26-year-old Kardashian star Kylie Jenner has spoken about her regret at getting a boob job when she was just 19. This is before she had her daughter Stormy.
I just wish, obviously, I never got them done to begin with. I would recommend anyone who is thinking about it to wait until after children. But yeah, obviously, I have a daughter too. I would be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19. And she's the most beautiful thing ever. I want to be like the best mom and best example for her. And I wish I could like be her and do it all differently.
Interesting. She says she wishes she could do it all differently, Olivia. And, you know, you've made no bones about, made it very public that you did have a boob job when you were 20, were you?
Yeah,
20?
around that.
Yeah. But I think it's quite interesting just because how you are at 20, you know, we all change our views about, not always, but we change our views about things. How do you feel about it now, listening to Kylie Jenner going, do you know what, if I had my time again, I probably wouldn't, and I hope my daughter doesn't?
Oh, this is a tough one for me. I think I'm a bit torn. Is it better late than never, or is it too little too late? Because they've made millions off the way they look. You know, she sold...
The Kardashians generally.
Yeah, the Kardashians. And then she sold lipsticks and lip liners, telling girls that this is what she used to get these lips, and actually it was filler, and she denied having filler and all that stuff. And now she uses a quite broad term of, like, her body, because I think she's referencing boob jobs, but, I mean, it's been hinted by surgeons that they've obviously done, like, the bottom and the stomach, all that stuff.
So it's like body sculpting, I think.
Yeah, it's really like the most high-risk
she has always denied that.
She's denied it, so obviously that's, you know, so it's for argument, which are all really high-risk procedures. But I think I got that boob job done when I was young out of a fashion choice. I wanted big implants because that was the fashion.
But you said when I read about this, that you were about 14 when you said, I really flat-chested, feeling not fitting in with other girls of your age.
Yeah, I was hung up on the boob thing from a really young age, and I used to say to her, I'm going to get a boob job. And she'd go, all right, you can do what you want when you've got your own money, like, leave me out of it. And I was kind of fixated on it. But I think even though there was no Instagram, any of that, I was looking at the way other women looked. It was a fashion thing, like the way that the Kardashians have influenced culture and fashion with the way they look. And now it's changing. And I just think it's really scary to do things to yourself for fashion choices like I did. And then I had to pay the price heavily having my boobs redone, you know, 7 years later because they didn't fit my body. I was in pain. It was a huge amount of money.
And what about you had, because I asked if I could ask you this,
you
had your lips done. That's also a big trend, isn't it?
Big trend. Again, with that, I mean, if you look at me going back a few years ago, I mean, I'm sure commenters will be like, and she's still got big lips, but, you know, going back a few years, I had way more filler in them. And again, it was a fashion, trend-driven decision, which...
Do you have to keep doing it?
No. You can, you know, I think what happens, as everyone knows, with anything you do to yourself, you become kind of blind to it in the mirror. So other people will say to you, well, you look, you know, you've got too much Botox, but you go, no, I don't. And I keep looking, but now I look back on a photo of myself like 3 years ago and I go, wow. So, yeah, I think it's you become blind to that.
But I'm so glad and proud of you for saying that.
Thank
because
you.
You're also an influencer.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll be influencing my little girl.
Yes.
Right? And other little girls that are out there looking at you, and you're saying it.
Yeah.
And that's what's important, because what influencers don't understand is the actual ramifications that happens
100%.
within that child's psychology.
That I wish
that's
that she...
forming it.
Social media Brenda, as well, isn't it? And, you know, if your daughter said, oh, Mum, I don't like the way I look, or I want my boobs done, or I want my nose done, or would you try and persuade her not to?
No, I have, you know, obviously, everybody thinks their children are beautiful. I think my daughter's beautiful. I say that all the time.
Well, she is.
And she has come to me and sometimes, and, you know, I've said to her, you don't need all this makeup because you look naturally beautiful. And she's grown into herself and grown as herself as an adult. I myself have spoken about when I was bullied at school and I was called rubber lips. And listen to you saying, you know, it's a fashion and a trend. It wasn't a fashion and a trend. It was just my body and my life. But I'm really glad that my face grew into my lips so that they're kind of in sync now. But that was a thing for me. So where you want to elaborate yourself, I was feeling really... I couldn't chop off my lips, but you know, I think people should just be happy with their bodies and, you know, try and...
Well, it does say here...
natural.
Yeah, a recent survey said two-thirds of young people say they do want to change their facial features.
That's really sad.
See, but that's the thing. It's younger people, and like I say, once you grow up a little bit, changing character, you fall in love with the things about yourself.
Listen, quick one. Change the subject completely, just because we talked about it earlier. Quick one before we go. Last question: are you a creature of habit? This is because a new survey has said that Brits hate change. They think it can hold them back, but they still hate change. And one of the things that we hate changing the most, top of the list, was hairstyles.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I've had the same one for years. Just gets a bit short, a bit longer. It's either red, ginger, brown. Pretty much. Do you stick with one thing? Are you a creature of habit?
I like routine, and there's so much in life you can't control, and it changes every day. And I think it's nice to have your little habits and your structures in place.
So you like a routine in the morning? So I get up at this time, have this type of tea.
This is what the tea I like. This is what time I have it. And I go and feed the dog, and it's all very rock and roll.
Are you a creature of habit, Brand?
I am a creature of habit, not with my hairstyles though, as you can tell, because I like to change those, or my eyebrows. Naughty. But things like, you know, I'll go to a restaurant and I like what I like, and if I like it, I want to have it, and if it's not there, then I have been prone to leave.
But actually, I'm like that. You know, you go somewhere, I really go to this restaurant for their special thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. You get there, they go,
it's not there. I've walked...
Yeah. Are you a creature of habit?
Yeah, I'm definitely a creature of habit. I'm like that. They'll do that, set order, everything, you know, abs in the morning, workout, go to work, yes.
Go on, girl.
Yeah. And so we mentioned, got 30 seconds, but you said you're a creature of underwear with your knickers.
Look, look, we did this with the audience, and, you know, when you find that certain underwear that works for you, you stick with it.
Yeah. And then when they don't do it anymore, it's really annoying.
And when they don't do it... I mean, I don't understand why you don't get the regular size. Regular size is not size 6, 8 and 10.
Yes.
It's 14 upwards. Just know that. I know that.
We're coming towards the end of the show, but I just want to say a huge thank you to Olivia. It's been great having you as a
Loved it.
Come back again soon. And you come back tomorrow, hopefully. We've got the Chaser's Mark Lebet here with his partner, Hayley. Have a great afternoon. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.